Welcome to the channel, folks. Clunkers and Classics, where we are back on the 85 IROC-Z. And last few episodes we got all the suspension back to normal. It was all lowered, dragging on the ground. Crazy. Put in all stock springs, new struts, shocks. Got a new windshield put in it. Just been kind of bouncing around getting a lot of stuff done. Now, it would run for the most part okay, but you'd turn it off and it would run on. It idled kind of high, you turn it down and it would go higher again. You put it into gear, it would just die. I couldn't barely get it around the yard here because it kept dying. But that was before I raised it back up. It was dragging on the ground, hitting every little thing. It was sputtering, all kinds of weird stuff. That's why I originally bought the new Chinese knockoff carb. But what it ended up being, which I started without you guys, it was a distributor. This is another Chinese $50 distributor, the whole setup. So there's the one I just took off of it. I've bought several of these and I've never had any problem. Although that one I had put on this engine, the van was probably 8-9 years ago. I bought the van that this motor came out of, and of course the connections for distributor, it's actually run by a computer on an 86 and an 85, and you can't use it on it won't run right on the way we're doing it, just hooking up the one power wire, which is this one right here. Just hook up the one power wire to a deal, and that's all you need, old style. So I forgot that I had bought one of them distributors because I had the engine all covered up, but I had put it in there and covered up the engine, and then in this car, and then this thing sat for years. So when I bought a new distributor, forgetting I bought one already, and that's the one I just put in there. And now it runs good, and put it into gear and it doesn't stall or nothing, doesn't backfire, doesn't spit through the carburetor or nothing. So it was an ignition distributor problem. So we got that fixed, but then it started running, well, lately started up and it would run a little rough, then smooth out. So what I think's happened now is a couple of plugs got fouled out, you know, from this old gas, and from it popping and doing all kinds of weird shit. So I got my little heat detector here. It hasn't been run. I haven't run it today. See, it's reading 73.2. But you would point that, see a little red dot? See, it's reading 57 degrees. Well, when it was running, I did that to all the cylinders, and they were all like 270 degrees, except for this one was like 150, 140. And then this one over here, so this is like 1357, so 1 in 7. Seemed like the plugs were fouled out, and I took off the wire here, and yeah, it was all sparking. So something happened with these two plugs, so I'm fixing to change them out. And I think that's it, guys. As for running wise, just idle a little bit, and then we'll take it for a ride around here. I did yesterday. when I put the distributor in there and I put it in gear and it didn't die. Yeah, I drove it around here, no problems. It didn't drag anything. And run good. So we just got to do a couple little final things, and then I think that's it mechanically. Got a new air cleaner for it, put an air cleaner on it, and call it done. Except for the wine. So this episode, we're going to go through and get all the mechanical stuff done and put on the hood. Once I close the hood, that's it. We're done. Mechanically under the hood. So, got to figure out some more wires, guys. Now, this deal, I don't know if this is off. It has to be off the 89 because all this stuff was missing. And somebody saying, oh, this goes into the line. Well, I was watching a video from Maple Motors. Real nice 85 Z28. It's only asking $99.50 for it. It's pretty damn nice. Just come out there the other day. Anyway, I looked at it when he opened the hood, and this deal goes on the dryer here. But this wasn't with the car. This is off 85 Corvette I got, parts car. But it don't plug into this. And it says R12 on it, and I think this is a R134. So it's close. So I don't know. I got an 89 van. I'll see if it has one of these on there, but that's where that goes. As far as it's getting some power to this little area here, but we need to get the blower motor to come on. Other than that, this deal here, although none of this will work, this is all computer stuff, but I just wanted to put it in the right spot. That actually mounts here. Okay, and then we really just need to find the, I marked these. This went to the electronic carburetor, which I think there's nothing wrong with that carburetor I took off of here. And then this went to the choke. But we need to find the temperature. There's a sensor there, and then this sensor here. And if I could, I really want to find that so the temperature gauge works. All the other gauges work, well, except for the tack. This, see, this is the main power wire here, distributor, and then that's the tack. And then the wiring for the car has two deals. But if I hook the tack in there to that, it just pegs it out. So obviously this isn't compatible to the factory tack. And before I changed the distributor, I moved all the plug wires over one. So I need to move them all back one and straighten this up. But yeah, I think it must have been something to do with the vacuum advance or something. So I'm going to be doing that. So when I come back, we'll take her for a drive around here. Show you how good it drives. It's got a little bit of brakes. We did the front brakes, hoses and stuff. And I bled it, but it needs to be bled over and over again. But it goes to the floor, but it's got some brakes to the front. I got the two new rubber brake lines for the rear, and we can put them in there. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, we got, is that the other one? These two brake lines here for the rear. I got I ordered the belt moldings, 80 bucks. Those are for here. Probably put them on after it's painted, but I don't know. I may put them on before, just so I can put the door panels and stuff on. mount this back up. See if I can round up a spare, put in there, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be missing the jack and everything for it. So if we can get all the mechanical stuff done, then we can start on the interior. Like, these are the ones that came with the car, and they're all cardboard, all screwed up. These are out of the parts car, the 91. They're like plastic. So we might be able to cover them and put them on there and make it look a little bit better. But anyway, we'll go over the interior later when it's when we get all the mechanical done. We get the mechanical done, do what we can with the interior, and then the paint and body. But okay, so let me get this, change these tubes out, see if that makes a difference. Go over some wiring and stuff, and then I'll be back, tell you what I figured out. Okay guys, yeah, I just took this one out. It's all full of sludge and stuff. See, it's due with all that bad gas and everything. I should have probably just cleaned that up and put it back on, but now I'm thinking all the plugs are going to be all like this. Anyway, I'll be back. Okay guys, out of all this mess, I finally found the temperature gauge. At first I thought it was this one, because this is supposed to be for the AC, which is supposed to be on this side. And you can see there where it slides over. This is the temperature gauge there. So then I found this end here, which was the same way over here. So I had to wrap that all the way around here and plug it in. If I plugged this in, the temp gauge wouldn't work. So anyway, this comes over here for the AC, and I don't know what that is, but yeah, I still don't know what this is. That goes on this side, that. Yeah, and this is just a real mess over here. So you've got it so you can move it out of the way a little bit, check the oil, transmission fluid, and add oil. And, like I said, this is supposed to be mounted up here, but we're just going to stick that there. These, I don't know. And we got this stuff here, which we'll probably just throw down in there. That oil cat keeps popping out of there. But anyway, it's running pretty good. Just still not as hot. Here we go here. 270. $250. And you go over here, 195, 200. Okay, that's higher now, 181, but it was about 150. So that didn't seem like it was firing. $229. $212. It hasn't been running that long. When it runs for a while, those will get up to close, like 280. So I still don't think it's running right. It needs a whole new set of plugs, really. I bet all the rest of them are fouled out. But anyway, it's pretty close. It's just it's just vibrating a little bit. But anyway, put it into gear, it won't die, but it's shaking. The temp gauge is going up. No backfire, no running on, no puffing smoke out. Yeah, she'll, I don't know if I run down and get another set of plugs or what, but I might. Because what I need is the shorter plugs. See these plugs that I got? These other plugs, where were they? These Bosch. I know these come out of a GM, but I can't remember what year. Get it out of there. See how much shorter they are? I need a set of short plugs because it sticks out. Some of them stick out too far on the header. Bump into the header. I think this one here is pretty close. This one will, I mean, it'll make the spark plug wire hit. And I think over here too. So it's better to get a set of short plugs. So I may run up and get those ones. Hopefully they got a number on them. And okay, well, I'll be back. Okay guys, just took the El Camino with the Chinese knockoff Quadrajet. Started right up, drove good. Nikki wasn't too happy about it. She likes to go for rides, but can't take her for a ride in this. But anyway, got get this stuff out of the way. Got these spark plugs here. These are the only short ones I could find, or they could find at AutoZone. So it's NGK. I wanted the platinum, so we're gonna stick them in there. So let me put them in there, and we'll see if it smooths out a little bit. I'll be back. Okay guys, I got them all in there. Yeah, they were all it's from all that bad gas, the remnants of 20-plus-year-old gas in there. We'll see how it starts. See how it runs. We got a little bit of a shake to it. Goes. I don't have this door closed all the way. I can smell that stinky gas. I don't have much brakes, guys, but There's the two marks right there. It's a posi. Yeah, it's just got a little bit of a okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I think that's about the best I can get it. Put the new air cleaner on there. I know the wiring looks like a real rat's nest, but these are for the, at least that's for the AC. The other ones I don't know what they're for, but I'm gonna stuff them there. And I did want to just cut all this off in case somebody that buys it later on want to put it back to original factory. But anyway, I just got to mess with this blower there, see if I can get that to turn on by the switch on the inside. After that, I think I'm just going to put on the hood and that's it. It's done. Now we can start with, we'll get the back jacked up and put on those brake lines, bleed it, go around, bleed it all. And I think that'll be about it mechanically. Now we can maybe go over the interior, see what we can do to it. Okay, I'll be back. Yeah, I drove it around here about 5 or 6 times. Bunch of burnouts on the grass here. Didn't stall, hesitate, got plenty of power, good response. So I think it's good drivability wise. And no bottoming out on nothing and all that. So I think she's good. Okay, let me, I'll be back. Okay guys, as you heard, I got it running pretty good with the Chinese knockoff carburetor. I don't think there's anything wrong with the carburetor, but I don't think there's anything wrong with the old carburetor. Now, it wasn't original to the car, but it was original to an 86 Chevy van, which would have been pretty close to what would have been in this car. So I think I'm going to put the old carburetor back on it. Okay, the old carb is, what I did with it, oh right here, I was cleaning it up a little bit. I had to grind the edge of that linkage, but I can put it back on and put some JB weld. It should be alright. If it breaks, then we'll do something else. But yeah, just so I can hook up this, the choke, and I want a spare carburetor because I want to put a 4-barrel. There's two cars I want to put a 4-barrel on: the 76 Red El Camino and the black 77 Malibu. So that's what this carburetor will be for. And now I needed a 4-barrel intake. I went ahead and took this 4-barrel intake. This carb is junk, but I took the 4-barrel intake off the parts truck. See underneath that intake? I'm going to show you on that truck here real quick. Well, here's Nikki. How you doing, Nikki? How you doing, Nikki? So I bought this truck at an auction a while back, and people are saying, oh, see if it runs, see if it runs. Been sitting in the junkyard for decades. Abandoned. But I did find out it turned over. But look at all that sludge. And those nuts were in there. Those acorns or whatever the hell they are. But look at that. Even if it did run, look at that crap. The engine has to be taken apart and and it's just a 305, and it just ain't worth it. I've been robbing parts off of it. Used the starter on that Camaro, alternator, fuel pump, all kinds of stuff. So anyway, I got a 4-barrel intake. I know I should probably buy an aftermarket aluminum Edelbrock or something like that. Hey, Nikki. Yeah, if anybody she's scratching, I bought the high dollar Sorrento flea collars. She's on her second one in a couple of months, and they're supposed to last like 8 months. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. I might get an aftermarket intake, but I figure I'd just take that one off. I could use that one. Those intakes used to be cheap, but with inflation now, they're probably doubled in price. If I get a brand new one for $150 delivered, I might do it. But anyway, I got a factory one there and a 4-barrel. I'll also need an intake and a 4-barrel for that 89 van engine there to convert it from a throttle body. So do I want to buy 3 or 4 more carburetors? Not really. They're $150 each. That's $600. So let's save this one for probably that red El Camino next, and let's put the factory carburetor on here and see if it runs good. It should. Oh, if I didn't mention, I got this plug here from the 89 Chevy van, and it plugged right in. So that's where that went. It didn't go to a line, it went to the dryer. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to go over. Yeah, let's put the old carburetor on it, see how she runs. Hey Nikki, how you doing, girl? Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I just put it on and it fired right up. Seems to be running great. I figured this wire went to this, and there in the choke. No running on. Starts right up. I think the idle's a little bit low, but put her in gear. Doesn't stall. Yeah, it was that distributor the whole time was the problem. So I think that carburetor there is good enough. We're just going to leave that one on there, and I'll use that new one for, like I said, another project. Hate to just throw that in the pile, not scrap pile, but you know, just put it on a shelf somewhere where it's actually good. Okay, so put the air cleaner back, and we will, oh, I took this off the truck. That little thing wouldn't fit good, so this thing here, it's not in there very good, but that's off the truck, and it's actually got a little vent. But anyway, put that on because the other one kept falling off. Okay, so yeah, I put the air cleaner on, and then I think we'll start on the those 2 rear brake lines, bleed the brakes, see if we can get all the brakes all bled and nice good pedal and all that stuff. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, next day. It's been raining. I put that plastic over it every night. 20 to 40% chance of rain every day, but it doesn't really rain that much, but it did this morning. So anyway, it's getting ready to put on the hood, actually yesterday, and of course this car's just fighting me every which way, so wouldn't expect it to be that easy. I don't think this hood was bolted on when I bought it. It may have been, and my helper may have taken it off and screwed it up, but it's a fiberglass hood, fiberglass cowl hood, and it looked fairly new, and it looks like, this is why I'm thinking it was at the body shop. Even the door jambs are painted this metallic maroon. Although the original color of the car was red, but I think they painted it this maroon. This was good because it was out of the sun. And then, you know, it sat up for 20 years. So it sat like this in the body shop outside. That's why all the clear coat's baked off of it. So somebody, so what these have is a metal plate in here for the bolt hole to thread into, for the bolt to thread into. There's a little rivet holding that, or a big rivet holding that metal plate in there. Well, that bolt's busted off. This bolt, I couldn't get nothing to thread into it, and anyway, it's pushed back, so that plate is pushed back like that now. But I still couldn't get anything to thread into it. This one was busted off here. And then this one, I tried a 1/2 inch and 13 millimeter, thinking there's a little bit of a difference, but that's as far as I could thread that into. And that would probably be fine, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a cutoff wheel and cut that off, and then just use a nut on the end and tighten that up. That one I might be able to weld, grind that down and weld a 1/2 a bolt on there and thread that on there too, maybe. But this one I can't weld in there because it's so thick of fiberglass. So I'm going to try to drill that out, then I have to get something in there and weld it, but I might have to bore that fiberglass out a little bit so I can get a weld in there. Then this one, I think I'm gonna have to drill a hole here and get in there and push that plate back, bore that out a little bit, see if I can get a bolt in there and weld it in. Anyway, got a lot of screwing around to do. So I'll try to get that so I can bolt it on, and then I'm thinking my helper might have, because the shocks aren't hooked up, see, and I think I remember taking them shocks off because it was too tight. See, there's 2 of these different shocks. Here's the aftermarket one anyway. I think they put new ones on or something, or maybe I bought new ones and they were too tight. But they'll make one for steel hood and make one for fiberglass one. I remember that from my old 82 Z28. Had a factory fiberglass hood on it with the functional hood scoop. Yeah, they only did it for 1.5 years, 82 and part 83, before they mandate them, they make them fake, because people were flooring it, opening that scoop up when it was raining out. You know, that's the thing, these auto manufacturers have to pretend everybody's stupid. Yeah, that was the reasoning. People were flooring it. And if you don't remember, the 82 to 84 Z28 scoops, and only 82 to 80, part 83 that you, and I actually had all the solenoids and everything too. I had 2 sets of them, and yeah, you would floor it and it would open up the scoop. Anyway, on them hood scoops, they use lower pressure struts, so you wouldn't bust the fiberglass in half. And I thought I remember taking these off because it seemed like it was pretty tight. But I don't know. I think my helper must have busted it. Anyway, we'll put it on there, and there, and then we'll try these struts. I'm gonna put plenty of cardboard here to protect it so it doesn't hit. That's what happened. This windshield was good. The old one was good. although it wasn't stuck in very good. But I remember telling the helpers there, I says, be very careful, don't bust that windshield, because they're constantly lifting it up and down and everything. And sure enough, I cracked the shit out of it. So anyway, guys, let me see what I can figure out on doing to that, and I'll show you, and then I'll get it on here and we'll bolt it on. So I'll be back. Okay, guys, I got these welded in there, and that's that bottom one there, and this one I left that 1/2-inch one in there, and then this one I welded on a 10mm bolt and cut the end off that. So that should work. I think there was only factory wise 10mm bolts in there, if I remember right. So anyway, going to get it up there, put some cardboard up on the corners, slide it up there, prop it up with a piece of wood, see if I can get it bolted on. I'll be back. Okay, guys, here it is. So instead of the bolts going in that way, just put nuts on them. So they seem to hold. These struts are pretty stiff, but it's not breaking or stressing the fiberglass. That's latch there. Although it's not lined up, the latch is lined up right in the middle. That's got to come over just a hair, and this needs to come over just a hair, and that looks like it needs to come out. But anyway, it's been smacked around because this looks like it is old Bondo. It's the only really big spot on the whole car. There's a little ding right there. Other than that, it's pretty good. But anyway, I can adjust that over a little bit later, and the hood latch works. I just lubed that all up. Oop, just gotta you gotta use two hands and I think that one just broke. Or did it? Anyway, it's gonna take a little. Anyway, I'm gonna mess around with a little bit more and then we'll get to them rear brake lines. So I'll be back. Okay, guys. Apparently the rear end requires 2 brake hoses. The left rear is a line. I'll show you that here in a minute. So this is the passenger rear, and then this is the middle one that connects the 2 lines to it, and then that's a bolt hole. I'll show you them here in a minute. So this is the left rear, goes into the solid brake line here, which goes over to the middle on the other side. So that goes from here to right underneath. I don't know how good you can see it, but it's right there. Okay, because this rear end, you go to bleed it, there's no fluid coming out, just air. So either, most likely it's the middle brake line hose that's collapsed, swelled up, whatever. Okay, so here's the middle one where the 2 steel lines go into it. there's the bolt hole, and this is where it connects to the line going up to the master cylinder. It goes up to the front. Okay, so this side has just got, oh, that's, well, shit. Nobody banged on that or put a chain around it. See if we can straighten that out a little bit. We have to make a new line. Anyway, that comes out and around to the bottom here. Right here, just a steel line going in. So this side's got a steel line, that side's got a rubber line. Don't know why, but apparently that's factory. Once we figure that out, figure out where these, what the emergency brake cables look like and where they go, because there's no emergency brake cables on this car. The cable stops up in the middle. So there's supposed to be two brake cables coming out here. Don't know where they are. Don't know what happened to them or even where they go. It's like that when I bought it. Okay. So this is the culprit here that's most likely so friggin' old and it's collapsed. So I'm gonna replace that line, hose, and that hose over there. Then we'll go from there so we can get some fluid coming out of this rear end. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is factory now, but why the emergency brake cables are missing, I have no idea. But anyway, let me put them on and I'll be back. Okay guys, pretty easy. That's it there, goes the bottom of the caliper and over to here. This is separated by two copper washers, one on top, one on bottom. When I pulled that line out, a bunch of fluid came out. So we're hoping it is this line or the other line and not the caliper, because that's, I initially suspected the calipers in the front, but it was just the brake lines. Calipers are fine, but let's hope that it ain't these calipers, because these ones, those are $29.99, but the back ones are like $68.99 each. So anyway, that's 12 millimeter here. Let's take out that clip, pull it out, put the new one in, put the clip in, 12 millimeter, tighten it up, and that's it. Okay, so let's, and it's a limited slip posi track. Rear end, I checked the fluid earlier, it's full. Okay, let's do that top one, and I'll be back. Okay guys, here's the old line hose here, and it's kind of dark, but yeah, I got it in there, right there, and I took this steel line off and kind of banged it around trying to get this, it was flattened by something, but anyway, I blew air through it, air goes through it. It should be all right, but it should be replaced. But I just got a cheap flaring tool and I have a hard time doing these double flares on steel lines. It'd probably be easier doing it with the copper lines, but I don't have any copper lines. And there are a lot of curves to this. So I'm just gonna put it back on. It should be all right. Yeah, these, I don't know, I guess they're just floating calipers. This thing here, there's a bolt there, and this just moves around both sides. Oh, unless that's, oh, I guess that's to tighten the caliper. Maybe one way it tightens the caliper. I don't know. I'll look up some emergency brake cable, see what I can figure out. But anyway, I can put this line back on. and I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm trying to bleed these brakes, but this air bleeder works pretty good. But initially on the other side, driver's side, I got some fluid trickling out. Nothing on this side. And now nothing on the driver's side. Pumped the hell out of the brakes, kept pumping them, still goes to the floor. I think the master cylinder's bad on it. And they're not cheap. You know, I think the El Camino, last one I bought one for was 25 bucks or so, 28 bucks. Well, at AutoZone is 86, and I found one on eBay for 79, same one. So I ordered one of them. Also ordered the emergency brake cables. Not exactly, I'm pretty sure this is a little hanger for it here, but not exactly sure how they're routed. I have a 2000 Camaro, but they're completely different. But we're going to try the master cylinder whenever that gets here. Try to bleed them. If they don't bleed, it could be these rear calipers. I'm not sure. So it's blowing the budget, guys, this thing. After I deleted the money for the carburetor and the front coils that I didn't use, still come up to about 2,700 bucks is what I got into this. That includes buying it. And now I just have to add another 160 or so bucks for those, what I just brake parts. And then a bunch more after that. For the paint and body, I was just looking stuff up. I can get a red paint kit for a couple of hundred or so in supplies. Well, probably a couple of hundred. But then you got to have the IROC-Z decals on it, and that was 140 plus 18, about 160. With the IROC-Z, and then the two stripes, black and something along the bottom. But then there's people selling just the IROC-Z door decals for $19.95. So do I want to pay $140 for two stripes? No. So I'll probably just order the IROC-Z decals, gallon of cheap red paint kit with the reducer and hardener. And then I haven't looked for the, see, this is more reddish maroon, and that's probably off the 91, 92. And then these are silver gray. So I have to get a set of 3 of them that match. And that's silver gray. So I don't know what it's all going to cost to finish this up, guys. And then plus, could be the rear calipers could be bad. Hell, the front ones could be too. I don't know. Then you got the interior. And I forgot. I looked up these seat covers before. I said I'm missing one seat cover. So this be a set of 4. I got 3 out of the 4. It's going to look stupid if I do one, plus I don't like red. If I did it, I'd rather do it black. And then we got the mismatch. We're going to have gray door panels, because the door panels are out of the question. 300, 400, 500 bucks for a set. So then the headliner. So I think I'm going to do what I can to the interior for pretty much next to nothing. There's no room in the budget. These cars just aren't worth that much. And a nice mint one at Maple Motors, like I mentioned last video, $99.95. If I bought all new stuff to make that thing look new interior, new door panels, I'd have $99.95 into it. It just wouldn't even be worth doing shit to. And 99, 95 is kind of high, because I remember seeing one at Maple Motors, nice black one for $69.50 or something a while back. It wasn't too bad a shape either. I thought, shit, 69 is still cheap. So yeah, to make this thing worth any kind of amount of money, it would be a break even at best. So, you know, and then plus we got the wiring. I should have painted the engine when I had it out, but I had helpers last day. I was like, well, let's just get this thing slid in there. It takes 2 guys to kind of get it in and prop it up and all that. So I didn't bother cleaning it or painting it to make it all perfect. And then it doesn't have AC. There's no AC on it. I'd have to buy a compressor, lines. The money is go through the roof on this. So I'm not sure exactly what to do on it, guys. I ordered the brake parts. We'll get the brakes going. Oh, then it needs tires. These tires are all, I think this is the opposite. It's not I think the tread's bad on it, and no. Oh yeah, it does have some little bit of lacquer checking, dry rot or cracks. Oh yeah, right here. It's all cracked along here. So it needs all 4 new tires too, and they're the wide ones. These are 245, 50, 60, and get away with down to 60s on it, maybe, or 225. I don't know. Yeah, the amount of money to build one of these is not worth it, guys. Like I said, unless you, the only ones that are worth a lot of money is low mileage, one owner, original looking, perfect shape ones. Trying to get an old one like this worth any type of money, it'd be impossible. Yeah, then we got the hole underneath, and I haven't even pour 15'd it. Usually on some of these cars that are worth some money, I'd get under there and sand it and pour 15 all underneath, make it all look nice. I didn't do it to this one. It wouldn't cost that much. I may do it at some point, but like I said at the beginning of the build, it was just to get it running, driving, stopping, so I can move it around the yard without it looking like a, you know, non-running piece of junk laying around. But I decided to go overboard with a lot of the stuff, you know, replacing the dash and using what I can on the stuff and getting the ride height back up and all that. So I don't know, guys. I'm gonna mess around with some of the interior. The mini spare, I got about 10 of them, but no bolt pattern that fits this. So I don't even have a mini spare. Don't have a jack. Forgot what the original jack and stuff looks like, but I don't have it. But yeah, I got some interior pieces. I think I'm just going to take out the headliner and leave it out. I'm not spending $3.99, and I'm not buying a gallon of friggin' fiberglass resin and brushing that on. And that, to me, doesn't seem like a good idea. But anyway, I'll decide if I want to go ahead and do any more to it. It won't take much on the body and paint. Not a lot of body work. It won't cost a lot. I'll probably do that. But as far as fixing every little thing on this and making it look top dollar, worth top dollar, I don't think I'm going to go that far with it. Okay, like no AC. I'm not going to bother with the AC. It's going to be too much. Okay, let me figure out what I want to do and I'll be back. Okay guys, I made a little patch here for this rust here. We're gonna put that up there and tack it in. I'll have to get some undercoating later. This had a bunch of caulking gunk in there, so I'll put something in there. But yeah, we already did this patch here earlier, and when I welded in this brace. But we want to fix that. Later on I'll get some undercoating and undercoat it underneath and inside and out. Okay, I'll be back. Well guys, I was just putting a little spots around there, and all of a sudden I see some smoke, and had a big ass fire. Well, it was a kind of a small fire, but all this insulation they'd put in was highly flammable. So I grabbed my air hose and chucked, and that just made it worse. So then I had to run over and turn on the water and grab my water hose. My brand new $80 moldings were here, but I think they'll be all right. That's what shows there. It's a little bit messed up, but we'll have to reuse them. But now I got this piece here is all messed up. And the carpet. Anyway, just figured I'd show you that. The car's fighting me all the way. I'll be back. Okay guys, trying to round up interior parts that I burnt from the other parts cars, but they're a little bit different. I think I'll save that for next video. This video is getting pretty long. I'm not sure what to do about this carpet. The other carpet ain't very good, but anyway, wasn't a very exciting video, but we got master cylinder emergency brake cables coming. Then that should be done mechanically with it. So the interior, we got to figure out how to do it as cheap as humanly possible. And then the paint and body. So I think next video we'll do the interior, see what I can. I said 3 seat covers out of 4. Anyway, I think that's all. Subscribe if you haven't. Bottom right hand corner of the screen, click that. Doesn't cost anything. Been getting a bunch of comments and seeing a bunch of comments on other people's videos that people are getting unsubscribed for no reason, just a YouTube glitch type thing. It happens every now and then. But make sure you're subscribed, and like, comment, share, all that stuff, and we'll see y'all next video. Sure, slowly but surely it's getting there, guys. And just a little depressing on this video. Brakes stuff in the interior, and anyway, we'll see y'all next video.